Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I always have to type all the brains in the chat. Yes, Today is a day. It is Sunday, January 10th, 2021. Hello, and welcome. It has been a somewhat buggy start to things, / nothing is going quite right now. So, my internet speed upload rate is not so great today. I am streaming at 4,000 kilobits at 30 frames per second, and then I realized I haven't actually been streaming at 60 frames per second since December 17th, apparently. Yeah, so these are the trials and tribulations of being a streamer. See, you have to actually remember to set the thing back to the correct value after having to go down to 30 because of poor internet connectivity. Yeah, so apparently on the 17th, I had brought my frame rate down to 30, and then never actually changed it back when my internet actually started having full speeds again after that. So since then, it's just been 30. That means all of the Factorio vanilla playthrough videos, the source files have been in 30 frames, and I've been rendering them at 60 even though they're 30. So that's a bit painful. That's not ideal. And yeah, all of the Satisfactory streams have been in 30, and all of the Factorio streams have been in 30. However, these past streams should have looked real good. Real good. Anytime I've been streaming at 8,000 kilobits at 30 frames per second, it should have looked so super crisp on the video quality. Yeah, real good stuffs, I'm sure, because it was 30 frames rather than 60 in particular. And then I bring up my task manager and I see that right as I'm supposed to start streaming, my memory usage is at max. At like 30 gigs of 31.8 gigs. Maxed memory, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's using all my memory? Thank you, YouTube, for telling me that I am in fact live right now. Gee, I wouldn't have thought that I was live right now. So Firefox, my web browser, was eating literally all of my memory somehow, and it wasn't reporting it accurately in the task manager. Like, it has a little thingy where it drops down and shows all the tasks for Firefox, but there was like more stuff for Firefox in the list as like individual thingies. And it's weird, it's like, this doesn't add up, this math doesn't work out correctly, so something weird. It has been a long time since I restarted the browser, but yeah. So I had to restart the browser and like close tabs that I had open that I would have liked to keep open, but oh well, even 32 gigs of memory isn't enough sometimes. Even 32s. Right now I'm sitting at 16.5-ish. So I do need more than 16, as it turns out, on a normal basis, when running Factorio as well. Turns out I need more than 16. So here we go. Here's Factorio. Oh, that's a thing. Oh, I've got an Ollie. Ollie has shown up. How's the boy? Yes. Gonna let me pick you up? Sorta. Here's an Ollie. He's come to say hello. Came right by my feet. Rubbed against my legs. Yes, hello, my Ollie. Haven't seen you in a little bit. You disappeared for a while. Where were you? Where were you, huh? Oh, my sweet. Yeah, breathe. Yes. Yes, you kiss me. Loud noises. Loud noises. Yes. Allergies? Allergies? He looks every time I sniff. Yes. Yes, mister. Okay. I did a few things off stream. For the first time in a very long time on our Space Angels series here. I have a few more modules at level 8 than I did before. Just a few additional modules. Because what I was doing off stream, because this is very tedious work, is scaling. Scaling of bottlenecks to produce the level 8 modules that we set up last time. That's all I really did. I went around and started the process of the module Shenanigans. I don't need that signal there. The module and beacon Shenanigans have officially begun. Also, I made a charging point, level 2, set of them to place up here to keep these guys charged, because there was a little bit of a problem with lack of charging ability up here, and I needed more power, so I placed a bit more power down. Hope you don't mind, but I placed a little bit more power down, and I did say that I was going to do this, right? That this was like a thing that you can do. Just put down mining drills loading into a big chest, and then you can beacon the heck out of them. This could offload more than these 2 blue belts, but you know what? I think it's okay. I think it's okay, especially since these don't even consume a blue belt on each line. Yet, anyway. Oh boy, so I also had to go and take care of a little bit of an issue with steel and with plastic. Those are the 2 I can remember off the top of my head. I improved... Oh, here's iron. Here's iron, the new and improved singular building with productivity modules, taking in the catalysts and the crushed gibelite and sapphirite to make infinite amounts. 4! That's 4 blue belts of ore. It's glorious. Glorious, but what I was going to look at was over here at the plastic production, which has been ever so slightly improved. Ever so slightly. What even is the main limiting factor now? The naphtha. I need to scale the naphtha, which is a little harder. It's a little bit harder to scale up oil products because you have to deal with fluid pipe dynamics, all the pipe mechanic BS and limitations. And as for the steel stuff, I got more ore. I did not touch this yet for the iron ingot production, because as it turns out, if I have enough ore flowing, I can make a lot of ingots, but apparently not enough. Apparently, I do need more ingots faster, so I will need to go and do that. Though this is pretty full. If this empties completely by the time I get another load in on the iron ingots, then I know that I do not have enough here. But yeah, more beacon shenanigans to get into the steel ingots here, because this was the major problem, was just the amount of steel ingots to make steel, which has also been modified a little bit. Steel, off-screen, I have done the coils. We have seen this process before, making the sheets, and then unsheeting the sheets. And in this case, it's done productively. This is the main point of strand casting. Yes, I'm using the no animations mod, and for some reason it just deletes everything regarding the sprite for the strand casters. But on top of the inherent gain you get by doing coolant strand casting for the molten to plate, you gain so much more in the ability to use productivity on the unsheeting, uncoiling of the sheets into actual plates. And that has given me more than enough steel than the base currently needs. So we are no longer limited on the production of steel. It's glorious. Absolutely wonderful. And I've also gone through, and I can see here that we've got some solder limits. This is actually full. That's good to see. So apparently I need solder. That's full. That's full. That's not full, but filling. Integrated electronics, that's going to be the plastic between the integrated electronics and the CPUs. Slash just my bot's ability to move the CPUs slash the integrated electronics. But these guys are plastic limited right now for the moment. We got 42 more of those. We're waiting on transistors. Now that's a plastic limitation. That much I know is a plastic limitation down there. And of course I've been tweaking and adding to this build itself since last stream. Looks like there's actually plenty of plastic, of solder. It's just getting it out here. Oh. Interesting. I may actually need more. One thing I need to do is get harmonic crystals onto a train, so that will be among the first things that I do today, is actually getting these loaded up onto a train. The excess amounts of these. That's a little funky. There you go. So I forget about whether or not the game has been updated since the last time we met. That would probably have been good information to know. I haven't paid too much attention. I think there was something or other. It didn't give me an update notice when I logged into the game today, but it may have happened the other day. Let me have a look-see. The last update was on the 7th for 1.1.8. And the last time we streamed was on the 7th. I think this was later in the day. We had a 1.1.8 release. We had the 1.1.7 for last stream. New Trains Overview GUI. Aha. What does that mean? Is it this? I think it's this. Oh, no, it's, I know exactly what they're referring to. It's this. This is the GUI that they are referring to with the new trains overview GUI. It's, a little bit of a cluster. I mean, I can search by stuff, but all right, sure. That's a thing. I never use that window, nor do I think I will ever use that window even now. Previously on this GUI, it showed you every single train. It had every single one of these windows, just an array of these windows. That like scrolling list of everything was useful before. It was not useful before, excuse me. It was useless before. And it still seems to be pretty useless now. Bug fixes. Fixed crash when dragging electric pole ghosts into fog of war. Okay, good. Fixed rotation of belts being built by dragging by making it possible to build continuous belts. Fixed rotation of belts being built by dragging by making it possible to build continuous belts. Oh, this is a thing with holding drag while rotating. That's what it is. Holding drag while rotating. Fixed various issues related to blueprints with only trains, performance issue with character logistics GUI, crash that would happen, pathfinding, empty collision box. Big script generated, switch labeled, didn't respect minimal width defined by style. Okay. New trains GUI. That's what we got in 1.8, effectively. So I guess before you weren't able to do something like hold the button, rotate. Aha. That's it. So now you can continue holding your click, rotate, and it auto builds. So it builds a continuous belt. Just be careful on your rotation and where you're holding your mouse, apparently. That's neat. I don't think it'll apply. I don't have that type of muscle memory, nor do I think I will be. I don't think I'm going to build that way. That seems off to me. I'm not used to that. No, if I want to change the direction, I'm going to lift and then rotate to the proper direction. I'm not going to continue to hold the mouse button down. Well, alrighty then. That is, I think, everything I wanted to make distinct note of that I had done off-screen compared to today. There was some amount of waiting on biters to happen, and I sped up that process by adding speed. Beacons. Beacons! Glorious beacons to some aspects of all of this. Oh yeah. It now has sufficient spores for that bacteria. Now it's the hydrochloric acid. Oh boy. We need to scale. We also need to get into, like, tungsten and stuff, and utility science. So, there's that too, to have to do. Let's see, I needed additional phenofran for more, nutrient pulp. I saw that I didn't have enough nutrient pulp for my needs. That was a step one. Also, I had apparently not had enough polluted fish water for some reason, so I modified this so that overflow artificial water will come in, but I have this on a top-up valve down here for when I need more artificial fish water, polluted fish water for these. The alien spores. I'm making significantly more alien spores than I need. Of course, the excess does get vented. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I prioritize sending meat in for the polluted meat, which is the whole point. And all of this stuff is making the alien goo, ultimately. Mostly, I think. Somewhat. So, then down here, we've got some bacon on these guys. Seems like you don't necessarily need your bacon anymore. It was just to get this moving down the entire line. Same down here with the big biters. With the big biters, I just needed all of this ish operating. I guess it's fractional down there on that build. It doesn't always move on the very end. But yeah, that's a thing. All of these are moving. Making me queens and such. And eventually there will be an infinite supply of queens, and the excess queens will be voided. You no longer need these beacons, so that's a whole bunch of extra level 8 pure speed modules I now have available to me. And I'm getting 9 of these crystals per second. Just like I'm getting 9 of these crystals per second and 9 of these crystals per second. Why 9? Arbitrary decision. Just 9. Somewhat arbitrary. Could have been 10, could have been whatever amount. Just a multiple of 3. Because there's the 3 different crystal types, I guess. And plus harmonic, which combines all 3. Somewhat arbitrary, I suppose. And the previous build made 9. Alright. With all of that, I will need a train set up on you. This is not going to get used, though, for quite some time, because I need to get into utility science before I can actually use these to make level 3 beacons. Supply depot full cargo circuit condition. You are good to go. It will deliver to the mall. Ah yes, I didn't actually finish going over everything I did off screen because I mentioned how I was getting all this now, all this iron. Well, that also means I need more of the stuff that makes this, right? Including the crushed sapphirite. That was the number 1 thing that I needed more of, and as it turns out, it went all the way down to the amount of ore, which is actually being mined over here. Turns out I needed more ore. Oh yeah, this is a thing. It makes, yeah, there's 4 blue belts coming out of this thing. It fills faster than 4 blue belts can offload. So I have a lot of ore now. A lot of ore and a bit more of the crushed. A bit more crushing is going on of said ore. Just a smidge more. And it's getting loaded plenty enough into the thingy. I have not done that, though, with the Jivolite. So we have missions to complete, which would be to beacon scale. Or just scale ores. Scale crushing. Scale floating. It's actually floating. Pretty sure it's flotation, as it used to be spelled. Where even flotation, yes, that's the one. That's the word. Flotation cell. Flot, you're floating. As in flotulation. Now there's a word that's not used very often. Flotulation. Google it. So yes, the flotation cell, and then the leaching. And we have the existence of thermal refining in here to get into tungsten and copper tungsten stuffs. But I do still not have zinc, for whatever reason, and I don't have lithium either. I'm just thinking of that because there's the lithium batteries that I will need, as well as the zinc batteries, silver zinc. And then I need to scale or sorting. Scale ingots. Scale plates slash upgrade to strand casting plus coolant. So the upgrading to the strand casting and coolant, I've already done that for iron and steel and copper. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that on copper. Am I doing that on copper? Where is copper? That's a great question. Copper is here. Yes, I am doing that. Of course I'm doing that on copper, because that's where I brought my base mineral oil in for the steel. Of course. Right. Right. That's the key. And then the iron plates over here are also doing that shenaniganry. I need to add the productivity modules to the end. Oh yeah, this build. I remember this build. Yeah, this is crushed ferrous. Crushed ferrous ore sorting into iron and magnesium. Magnesium? Manganese? Whatever. One of those. Manganese, I'm pretty sure. And, yeah, it's getting... It's a 1-to-1 process on these, making the pellet-pressed iron ingots and the pellet-press manganese ingots. It cycles iron ingots in the process that just throw some in and it cycles them continuously through this intermediate thingy here that just processes back into the same amount of ingots as what was just used. And that will make the iron, that molten iron, for sheets for uncoiling. It's a pretty decent increase to efficiency overall for the inputs. The only thing it adds to the complexity in here, really, besides having to make 2 sets of ingots out of all this, is that it does add rubite as a input, a crushed rubite input, versus gibbelite and sapphirite. Also, I got more coffee yesterday. I had run out of coffee, like right on the day I needed to buy it. I had just enough to last me to yesterday when I needed to buy more. Unfortunately, the store we went to didn't actually have the big 48-ounce container of the Folgers Gourmet that I would have gotten because it's super cheap. Like 16 point something, 17.7 something cents per ounce. It's like $10 for this huge container. So I just got the biggest thing of black silk that I could get. The Folgers Black Silk. Darkest of dark roast. I am happy to have dark roast. It's just that it is more expensive. It's like 27.5 cents an ounce. Extra 10 cents an ounce. Pretty much the same price to get less. So that ended up working out in the end. Now the Death Wish coffee. That stuff is $20 for a pound, or 16 ounces, which is quite expensive. Quite expensive, a luxury, which is why I don't have it all that often. But it's super effective, and my body pays the price when I run out of the stuff, as I have withdrawal symptoms at the end of it. So, what are we gonna do first? My goodness. Because I now have access, and I have picked up level 2 beacons along the way. I'm going to go to the mall, and I think I am going to make this zinc first. We're just going to go right down the line, including utility science. I would like to get into the level 3 beacons by having utility science. I could do it at any point. I mean, I've got everything but the lithium ions, so I will actually need to go and do lithium before I can do utility science. What else do I need here? That's it. I can make everything else. / have just about everything else on my network. Yeah, these things are a little bit of a pain. Yeah, you filter into that to get lithium salt, to get lithium, which makes the lithium cobalt oxide. Oh great, I'll need cobalt oxide. Did I provide that on my network? Because I should have. Cobalt, where are you? Wherefore art thou? Cobalt, you're somewhere over here. Did I share my train blueprints somewhere? I have a link to the Reddit. Well, depends on what you mean by the train blueprints. If you mean the actual rail network, that link is on my Discord in this Factorio string sharing channel. That is a Reddit link. I think I have it pinned in there. You can get on my Discord There's a link in my description below the video. And there is a blueprint book in there of my stations. Yes, I have it is the foundation rail set is the thing that I'm using. I don't do stackers. What do you mean by stackers? I mean, this station is in my K2 blueprint book. It is the K2 SA blueprint book has the train stations. I'll pin that. And then there's just the request station circuit logic that I'll pin as well in there. Alright. Check the pins on Factorio string sharing. They should be there. I don't know what you mean by stackers, considering I use bulk rail loaders, unloaders, and there's this. Stuffs happens at times. First things first, though, I need to get into zinc plates, which is going to be a sheet coil build from molten from what? Really? Really? Huh. Interesting. I don't remember this being a thing for the silver zinc batteries. I really don't remember that being a thing. So, in case you're new, the last time I played an Angels playthrough, a Bob's Angels Space Extension playthrough, was well over a year ago. It was 2018. In like late April, May range. You know, the very first playthrough that I did when I started streaming consistently, making content consistently. Very first thing, started off with this, then started also playing a Pyanodon's playthrough on certain days of the week, and just because Pyanodon's took, by its very nature, far longer to complete than this did, I ended up doing the Pie Sweet playthrough once this series had ended, the ABX playthrough, and yeah, I played Pie Sweet a really, really, really long time. I have a lot of content of the Pyanodon's mod set on my channel right now. It's a lot. I have 2 complete playthroughs, beginning to end, with space science. One from before the release of Pi Alien Life, one from after, or during the release of Pi Alien Life. That actually started on a testing version of Pi Alien Life before everyone got access to it. In version 0.17 of Factorio, and then we had the pleasure of going through and updating for 0.18 during that time, which ended up also being the release build later on. Fun times! I also have an incomplete Pi block series, which is Pyanodon's mods in a C-block style of game. Oh boy. It's incomplete because people weren't really watching it, and I don't know, it seemed a bit boring to me. The style that I was using to build just wasn't particularly compelling to me. I tried to do the whole build big squares idea, and no, I don't actually like building in squares of rails. I don't like the whole rail square BS, because it's either you've built too big of squares and have too much space for your individual factories that you're supposed to have in there, or it's not enough space for the factory, the singular factory that you want to have in there, and you spill over into other squares and have all this extra space in the other squares that you're doing nothing with. It's so space inefficient and so resource inefficient. Like, and it just doesn't look good either. No matter what you do, it looks like a bunch of squares. And that does not look good to me. It looks boring. Like, I did not think too much about what I was doing, so I just did this because symmetry. I end up building like this most of the time now, which is far more organic. This is far more organic growth. That's how I refer to it. I'm going to build lines with factories. I'll use the space that I need to use. I'll have some sort of decision on the spacing between said factories. They're a lot more tightly packed. And they're not squares. They're not like actual squares. There's more variation in the system. It just looks nicer when I build this way, to me. Not completely rail efficient, but we make up for that in the other ways. We make the trains better and not have enough a ton of trains on the system. That's going to be what I ultimately do. So, I will need silver zinc batteries. That's not the button I wanted to push. This was the button I wanted to push. And that is I think, the only thing I'm going to use zinc for. Zinc plates for. Because I'm not too keen on these. It's so sad, it's only really the batteries. So should this just be a battery build? I think this is just a battery build. Please tell me you actually called it silver. Yes, thank God. Alright. Let's break it down in terms of the unsheet coiling. The coolant sheet coiled stuffs. From the cathodes. Yeah, that's what I want. From there, I will need sulfuric acid. Oh, that's an... Why are you not showing... show me inputs. Thanks. Show me the things. I want to know the things that I need. Oh, it'll show me the things when I set an output. Really? Better. How about you? Yup. Yup. That. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Lots of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Better. The rest is speed, actually. And then how much silver? More silver. It's more silver. Oh, please tell me. Yes, you do. Hey, hey. You don't, though. Poor sodium hydroxide. Wow. 50? For 45 zinc battery, silver zinc batteries. Alright, that's a lot of silver zinc batteries. 5. Fine. You know, I think, like, what are the silver zinc batteries really used for? Hold up. Satellites. Satellites. Okay. Space science. 0.5? Oh, right, it does not change. The productivity does not change the fact that you still need to consume a satellite. Right. It changes everything but the satellite. So I need for 10 it's that. For is it time to make a decision? It may be. So that's 60 per minute. Shall we do that? Shall we attempt to 100 per second every science? For reference, that would be 6,000 science per minute on all science packs. Is that going to be viable? Because, you know, modules. Modules are good. I like modules. But, part of the problem isn't exactly scale. Well, it's not the fact that I can use the modules to make it easier, it's the fact that fluid mechanics suck. It's the fact that fluid mechanics are just awful. And it's really hard to do a lot with, Alright, I don't even have the... Oh, that's the wrong... This is the hydrogen. Yeah. Dimethylhydrazine? Yeah. It's a lot. It's multiple pipes. Therein lies the problem, or lots of pumps, and... That's a lot of catalysts. Hi. And combine that with not a lot of the fluid mechanic type things can actually use productivity in them. Hmm. Ah, yes, and then we get into the sodium hydroxide. Ah, yes. The sodium hydroxide. Herein lies another major issue. This is what originally, in the previous series, killed me. So much was just the hundreds of sodium hydroxide that's needed. So to get sodium hydroxide, primarily, would be this. Again, no productivity. And look at that amount of saline per second. Gee, it's fantastic. Where's the, And of course nothing uses productivity. Like, why would anything use productivity in this whole thing? No. Just speed. And you're limited by the fluid mechanics of the game. The whole time. So, a few buildings there. This is just space science, by the way. This is just stuff for space science. We also need methanol, which, I mean, that's like super incredibly awesome, easy. We have options. Methanol is so easy. There's so many options to get it, but ideally it's methane and steam into methanol. The methylamine, more methanol and ammonia. There you go. More stuffs. More things. More of the everything. Ammonia is a red catalyst. There you go. Oh, joy. Don't you just love rocket fuel? Don't you just love rocket fuel? Rocket fuel's awesome. There is a Chem Plant 4 that will reduce the amount of stuff by adding an extra module slot, so I will at least look at it that way. Oh, boy. Slightly less stuff. And then there's heat shields, which is a bunch of silicon. And a bunch of tungsten carbide. Really? What's the... Huh? Then what's the... Oh, it's you. Right. Because I don't have the utility science yet. Huh? Nah. Hmm? It's you. No. Have I mentioned I hate tungsten? Have I mentioned this yet? Because I can never... find what I'm looking for. Hello. Hello, Ollie. Ollie, save me. Heavy. Heavy boy. Heavy boy, save me. Save me from this monstrosity. He just wants to run away. He just wants to run away. My baby. All he wants to do... All he wants to do is run away. You gonna go lap? Oh, he's gonna go lap. The lap is what he wants. What he dreams of. Oh, no, now he's going desk. Hello, that's my desk. Yep, he's in front of... There's tail. Close up of tail. I'm getting too much into the weeds on that right now, when the point is this. Would you... Let go. Let go. He just grabbed the light that's above me again. He literally jumped at the light that's above me. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you. Thank you, Ollie. Ada. Ada. Bada bada. Meow meow. Mr. Meow Meow. Go. Run away. Ah. Things! Stuff's progression needs to happen at some point today. I think I have what I need listed here. Of course, I will need oxygen. The easy way is this way. What else? What else? I need a source of solid fuel. Looks like I don't have any other need for anything. So I guess I'll bring in Coke, because that's a little bit better overall value, I think. I think. I will also need lube. That's not listed here, or base mineral oil, actually. So, this build, I will take some notes on my notepad document. I will need plastic, sodium hydroxide. I will need base mineral oil, Coke, sulfuric acid, zinc ore, silver ore, nitric acid. And that, as they say, is that. I will also need the buildings for all of these. Oh boy, I have the strand 3s. And I think the induction 3s available. Those are castings. I need induction. Yeah, I don't think I have 4 yet. I do. Good to know. Cool. You. I need the blast furnace. I need ore processors. Oh. Oh well. I need the ore processors and the pellet presses. I apparently need chem furnaces. Okay. And I should have everything else. Apparently, 26 whole pure productivity modules. Woohoo! At level 8. I've got 108. Okay, and I have 108 pure speeds. To reduce this to 1. And this to 1, I guess. Sure. Why the heck not? Just a line of 1 of everything. Ah, and I need to make sure that I am carrying around these cooling towers and these ceramic filters. That's it. That's all. And I have some amount of rail because this needs a factory. Oh my goodness. It has been a while. It has been some amount of time since placing a factory. Let's go. Oh. Oh. Stop. Yes, go. Go this side. I need it to go that side. I don't want it to go the wrong direction on the tracks. Go, nanobots, go! Do your body great things. And then you. There. We are going to build on the left side of this. I need how many inputs? 8? Of which there are 2 fluids? 3 fluids? Good to know. Ooh, it's starting to get a little cool in here. I have to turn off my desk fan for the first time in a little bit. Really? Right. Need more rail. And 3 fluid inputs. Oh boy. Up you go. Up you go. There. There. And there. Hello. Welcome back, Ollie. Well, welcome back, my pretty boy. Oh. Squirms. Squirms. Like, why do you come back and not want me to hold you? Why do you not want me to hold you? Hi. Why do you not want me to hold you? You keep coming back. Surely he wants me to hold him, right? Nah. Nah, he just wants to complain for food. That's what he wants. He's like, "Hey, buddy. Food?" There. There. Da-da! I need rails. Go back, grab a rail. Off we go. Probably would have had enough rail had I been requesting the full 1,000 units that I had requested previously, but I need space for bacon now and modules in my inventory. I can't go around with 1,000 units of rail when I'm not using it consistently. I also no longer need milling drums, because I took care of that issue. Whoa. There's not even enough to keep some in this. Interesting. Whoa. Really? Lube? Lube is low? Alright, we got some problems to fix, apparently, at the oil. We need to have more. This is of immediate importance because I will be doing the whole strand cast shenanigans here. And that will need stuff. Base mineral oil. Oh. So it's a problem of lack of train. There is only one locomotive going back and forth, and it's apparently using everything in the meanwhile. I can add trains. That's probably the lube train right there. Let's go. Let's go, lube train. And as we go about the place, we're just building more of the intersections, placing more. Alright, lube train. You are slowly but surely filling. With how much? 10K. Yeah, that explains a lot, actually. Supply depot full cargo. Circuit condition. Yeah, you're gonna get full. It's limited by pipe throughput. $15.88. $22.50. Aw. I wanted to know. I wanted to know what maximum pumpage would provide. Oh well. Pumping. Producing. Nothing productive with oil. Yeah, it's so unfortunate. There is literally nothing productive here. Does any of this use steam? No. Good. And of course these don't productivity this. This is speed. The reason for that, the reason why we don't want to productivity these is that there is an internal fluid box of a very specific size on pump jacks. And a pump jack can only pump in one cycle the fluid that fits inside of that internal fluid box. No matter what, if the productivity cycle is ticking at the exact same moment of a normal tick, and the fluid hasn't been shoved out of that internal fluid box in that amount of time, nothing happens. All of that potential is wasted. But if a productivity tick does happen on a not normal tick, it should still fill the fluid box. Regardless, because of that, a lot of people just say don't bother with productivity. Just do speed. So I'm just doing speed. I'll trust the other people who may have done math. More math than I am willing to do. In the meanwhile, I do... Oh god, these are level 1s. I do need to make these a little speedier. And by little, I mean... I mean... a lot. And by little, I mean... We're gonna have a lot of crude. And then down here, same thing. We're gonna have a few doohickeys set up. It's gonna go a little quick. Ah. You use steam. You use steam. So fast. Ah, they're getting affected by these. Off Ollie goes. On his merry way. So... Steam. I need more. This is dumb. Don't do this like this, please. This is so dumb. Actually, these should be on the other side. So that I could just do that. Like so. If I so desired. And then doink, 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 remove you. And yeah, better. Steam, all the steam on the planet. So, yeah, how you doing on your fluid mechanics there? You're pumping. You're pumping as fast as you can. 1,500 stuffs. And this is where we start running into the issues inherent with, just, you can only move a specific amount of stuff in a pipe at a time. Yeah. Are there ways to handle this? Yes, there are. Handle this a little bit easier. It requires a fundamental shift in how we build things, and since I don't need anything on down these lines anymore, because it's not like this guy's doing anything all the way out here, this set of machines, right? I mean, it's not like we're using any of these now. I actually need the regular stone pipe. It's not like any of this is getting used, right? None of this line of 22 is getting used anymore thanks to the power. The absolute power of modules. Meaning that what I can do somewhere is something. I know, so very specific there. I can do something. Uh-oh. Right. Okay, it did the thing on its own. Good. This here is fine. Yeah. I already had a problem with naphtha, not having enough naphtha. Just made our problems a little bit worse. Alright. Let's do this somewhere, I guess, down here. We need a thing. We need a pump. And we need a thing. Ideally, this is done, like, right at the spot that you're mining the oil, but oh well. And then from here, it's oil into directly the oil refinery. Which recipe was that again? It was that one. What other options do I have? A crude and hydrogen to get more naphtha. Crude and gas condensates, crude and residual, vegetable oil, and fish oil. Alright. Good to know. And so in this way, when I do speed module the living shenanigans out of everything, and beacon the hell out of everything, that should function, provided I can get stuff input into this pressure tank quickly. Now, if I position this somewhere like there, I don't have... Really? Alright, well, you're coming with me. So say I build this, I don't know, on this guy. And then I pump and do that. And then we do The Shenanigans. The wonderful world of shenaniganry. Really? I apparently went through 108 speed modules that quickly? I don't need any of those. Alright, fine then. Be that way. This is going to be fun. Right, and then I have to, you know, get rid of the raw gas and the sulfuric wastewater. So that's even more fun. The raw gas and the sulfuric waste. And then that makes stuffs. A lot of stuffs. I'm producing 3 times more than this can do, so I mean... So I need to actually shift a couple of those up there. Excuse me? What? Alright. Cool. 716, 1575. How much do you make? Ah. This is not accurate. I want to make that perfectly clear. This number is not accurate. It's whatever the internal fluid box size is, times the mining speed of 30.8 per second. Still a lot. Okay, still a lot more than 2250, I would imagine. So I'm actually going to cut that to paste there. I'm actually going to cut these and shift them 1 tile. 769, 1407. Let's grab you and put you there. So, you get the idea, yes? You get the idea of how fun fluid mechanics are when dealing with oil in particular. And beacons. And all of that shenaniganry. I should have significantly more production as it stands on the naphtha. I think I do want this to actually be focused naphtha with the hydrogen input. Oh god, of course. Of course you're on the wrong freaking side. Of course you are. Alright. 175.33 is really easy to get. I don't have to worry about that so much. But there's the point I was trying to make. It can scale harder with more beacons, especially once you get level 3 beacons, and you get an extra slot or two and the full amount of distribution efficiency, and can stack even more around the thing. It just gets super insane as you go along, to the point where you stop caring that this produces way more than this uses. Yeah, it's a thing. Ah. Ta-da! Well, that works. That actually works. That actually works. Which side was it that gives the output on the hydrogen? Of course, it's that side. So, remember that thing known as being fast? Yeah, I needed to be that thing known as fast. 112, how much was it? 175? Yeah, that's good. I don't know how much you can void by yourself with plus 13.2. I think it's going to be more than 165. To be honest, I think it's actually 200 each. But yeah, and then it needs a little bit of water, pure water. I have one of these that can do pure water for me. It will do that. Just add some clarification and water, and it will produce way more than enough. And that is my alarm. That tells me that we are halfway through the stream, and it is time to take a brief few-minute break. This should have made all of its everything at this point, and I can confirm that yes, it has made all of its everything. Ta-da, da-da, 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 da. I just need a nap. Da. Yeah. So that just increased my naphtha by 613 and 2/3 per second. That alone. And it overproduces on the raw. Yep. Easy. Easy game is easy. I will be back in a few minutes after I finish my break, get up, stretch the legs, and all that. I will be back shortly where we will be moving to the zinc build. The actual zinc build. I'm done with this for the moment. I'll pick up more modules and go to the zinc build. See ya very soon. And I have returned. Welcome back. I tried. I tried to bring Dolly to show Dolly. I got her here in the chair in the lap, but she ran off as I was trying to put my headphones back on. Oh well, this is why I don't get up and grab the kittens. 'Cause by the time I get back to the chair with them in my hands, they'll be gone instantly. They're hyper all the time. They want to run and they want to play. They don't want to sit with me. Not at this time of day. Let's make that clear. This is a time of day issue where I am streaming at a time of day where they are particularly active. If I streamed, say, 5 hours from now, sometime in the mid-afternoon, my time, I would absolutely have sleepy kitties. They take their naps. They take a nice afternoon nap. Usually it's somewhere in my office, if not on my lap, then on a pile of boxes. Vast majority of the time. Ah, yes, that is much, much faster. 1434, huh? 1434, huh? 1588. Now let's see what happens. A lot! The max. It appears as if it can max. Ah, yes. This level of pump maxes at 4,800 units, and it can absolutely hit that with a proper setup. Okay, now that we are done with that shenaniganry, let's pick up additional level 8 modules from over here. I apparently have 56 of each level. Wow, really? I have 100 level 7 speeds stored. Cool. I should probably put level 8 speed modules in the level 8 speed module producing building. That sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know about you. That seems like an idea. Because each recipe for the higher level of module that there is gets slower. Takes longer, I should say. Yeah, meaning the ones in the end actually need the most speed to match with previous tiers. Either that or you build a lot more individual buildings of them. This is just how I've tended to do the stuffs. I will absolutely take more productivity. More productivity sounds pretty awesome to me. Duh. Duh. And that's level 5? Sure. Just do that. Thanks. You are now faster. You need to hold more solder. Why? Alright, just don't think too much. Me. I need to do other things besides worry about my solder coils being insufficient. Remember what I was saying about the best ways to spend efficiency? The best things to use efficiency on? Yeah, like, step 1 is to get more modules in the first place. Or productivity, excuse me, I'm using the wrong word. It's productivity. The most productive production should start inherently with the production of modules. More modules. Make that as productive as possible so that you can maximize the number of modules that you have available to you. And then it's science labs, and then it's science, and then it's circuits for science. That is, generally speaking, the order I tend to prefer to work with. But in this case, where we're doing a brand new build, we are going to start with said brand new build. And since I don't have any science to take until I get utility science, I have a bit of time to accrue resources. Oh, and this whole thing of 100 science, let's not take that too seriously. Let's not. Let's not. It's a lot. It's a ton. An absolutely gargantuan amount of stuffs. Yeah. It's, not even kidding. That is a lot of stuff. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. You do the thing with the aluminium and you make alumina. That gives you back the ingots by adding carbon. It's a cycle. It's a cycle, it just spends carbon, effectively. Yeah, you just put a certain amount in to maintain the speed of the cycle, and it'll go from there. So yeah, it's a little bit of silicon. Remember, all of this stuff in here, yeah, that's just rocket fuel. And tungsten carbide plates for the heat shielding. And then there's rocket parts. Rocket control units, excuse me. Rocket control units are modules. These are like these are a circuit. These are blue circuits. These are just blue circuits with different amounts of the stuff. This is the exact same recipe as the blue circuits. Okay. Sure. Radars use that stuff. We're working on silver zinc batteries now. The LDS is, well, LDS. We're working on that. Hey, in case you're wondering, the aluminium. Yeah, this stuff. I think I have to do the copper and silicon ingot recipe for this, but there's a problem. Maybe? In the sodium carbonate. Yeah. Yeah. There's, excuse me? Oh. I missed a step. Excuse me for missing a step. Yeah, that goes there. Why 188 instead of... Oh, right, because it's... Because of that other spot up here with this cycle, it's doing a combined amount. Yeah, it's doing it. It's 188.5 that you need to produce the 188.5 aluminium ingots for the molten, again, pipe problems. But actually, this isn't bad on this sodium. But the problem is making the sodium here. Like making sodium here, this. Making sodium, more sodium hydroxide, so much more. And more sodium hydroxide on the alumina. So this whole thing is using how much sodium hydroxide? Oh, you don't tell me. What? Did I... Oh, because I broke it down to this. 227.4 sodium hydroxide. That's just for space science. If doing 100 per second. I really don't think I'm going to do 100. Maybe 10. Maybe more like 10, or maybe more like 20. Or we go for the for the belt multiplication, we go for 30. That seems like a much more manageable at scale. That seems much more manageable. And then I have to look at see what other types of module things I might be able to do. If I apply that down the block, it'll apply productivity of level 8 up to 4 across anything that uses... Really? Well, I didn't know that. I did not know that I could sinter... I didn't know that the sintering oven now is what's used to make heat shielding. I think someone said that to me before, that this was a thing that they got into the game. That another use for the sintering oven, so sure, fine. Didn't realize it took productivity. What about if you were one of these? Oh. And if you were one of these? Oh. So, tungsten is productive, huh? Tungsten is productive. When you're making the powder. Or the carbide. Wait. Is that even the correct building? Didn't it used to be in the powder maker? Didn't it used to be in the powder thingy? I'm thinking tungsten powder mixture. Copper tungsten plate is just that too. Now hold up. What does tungsten powder mixture? Then used for plate. Plate. For buildings. Okay. Now I know. I'm full of stuff. Sure. Let's clear that out. I'm not actually requesting anything more. Clear that, and clear that. I need more stuff, more buildings over here. Alright, I have restocked, and I am ready. Time to stop delaying and actually do this silver zinc battery build. Oh joy. Oh bliss. And I should have everything for it. And I should have already smacked down that little bottleneck with the oil products. Meaning we had better be completely ready to go. These, though, do not go on this side. They go on this side. There you go. Okay, we are going to supply silver, zinc. Batteries. I can change the furnaces on the silicon nitride in that build. Yes, yes I can. And I already know about being able to productivity the silicon nitride. That I do know. I wasn't particularly paying attention to the actual silicon usage slash nitrogen usage in there. I was more concerned about Kya at this point in time. Depot, silver, zinc. Who knows, I might have more. I might have more thingies later. Factories. Okay. Notes. I need to request plastic at silver zinc. Request NaOH at silver zinc. Request coke at silver zinc. I should add the 1 at the end of each of these, but whatever. Request zinc at silver zinc. And request silver at silver zinc. Request sulfuric acid at silver zinc. Request nitric acid at silver zinc. And finally, request base mineral oil at silver zinc. Lots of stuff. Basist of base. Most nitrogenous of nitric, wherever that is, there it is. And a most sulfurous of sulfuric acid. You are the silveriest of silver. And the zinkest of zinc. All the coke. All sodium hydroxide, however much I have of that left. And however much plastic I have left too. Everything should be on its way. Speaking of which, plastic should now be flowing pretty freely. Yeah. Plastic's flowing quite well. Thanks to the power of naphtha. Naphtha making propene. There are other ways of doing plastic that I should do. All of... Oh, hello. Yeah, every time I get that delivery of naphtha, it really speeds up the amount of plastic being produced thanks to the power of the modules. I should be doing plastic 3 though. Yeah, we'll see about that. Where's my... Excuse me? I must have a thingy right there. Okay. No path! There's no path! We can't do it! We can't do it! Alright. Now you can. What first? Oh, the glorious question. What do we do first? How do we start? I'm thinking it will all begin with oxygen. No. It will begin with the silver, because that's just an ore processor. Let's do this all the way up over here. It is an ore processor processing silver. Just the one. Going into a liquefier. A liquefying building producing what now? And what tab is this? This stuff. Silver nitrate. And from here into chem plant. A singular chem plant. Oh, you could also do that, but we're looking for silver oxide. You productively need some speed. That's gonna be completely and utterly overkill, but it will be fine. Trust me. Everything will be awesome. That will be the sodium hydroxide in, and then that will be the stuffs on the output. Right there. Right there. That's good. That's those 3 steps done. Completely and utterly. Then, the zinc part of this equation. It begins with an air filter filtering into a chem plant producing oxygen and nitrogen. The nitrogen is voided. Da-da. This can be done literally anywhere. Literally anywhere. Does not matter. Can be done even like this, sideways. But no, it's gonna be right there, in line with stuffs. Then one of you doing zinc. Into a pellet press. A pellet press pressing. From here into a chemical plant / furnace. Producing zinc oxide. Ta-da. Avoiding the excess output here of the sulfur dioxide. That amount of sulfur dioxide, by the way, is nowhere near enough to make the amount of sulfuric acid that we require. That goes into another making cathodes, another one of these doohickeys. Making glorious cathodes. That's going to be there, that's going to be that. That's going to come in from wherever. And this will go into a blast furnace. Blasting into ingots. It will need fuel. at the very end. None of this takes productivity. Unfortunately, none of these processes take productivity. That, and that. Now finished. And then we get into the induction furnace, which, of course, we still only need one to make zinc. God, that's ugly. And really poorly designed. Alright, I won't say it's actually ugly per se. What I'm going to say is that it does seem very poorly designed because the colors are way too muted and way too similar to each other. So this is the artisanal reskins mod that relatively recently, in one of its most recent updates, changed the icons, updated the icons for molten metals. My problem with this is that they are colored way too similarly to each other. I can barely tell the difference between, well, I mean, you could barely tell the difference anyway, between brass and bronze, for one, but in this case, it would be the difference between brass, bronze, aluminium, and gold. Like, okay. If you see pipes of those near each other, good luck figuring out which one's which between brass, bronze, aluminium, and gold. Similarly with all of the purples, the titanium, nitinol, of course, because they're both purpley anyway, but also lead. It's like it looks similar to the what's supposed to be black on lead. Zinc and tin are pretty similar, and nickel. It's like, let's learn what shade each of these is. And of course, silver and silicon are real close, as well as iron, honestly. Iron and silver and silicon are real close. So all this is iron. Up here, this is silicon, and this is silver. And then there should be steel down here as well. That's pretty similar to the silver and silicon and iron. I just see a lot of dark here, which, yeah, I don't really like that. I don't really like that. I'm expecting this big bright blue uh, for the zinc, and that is not what's there. That is absolutely not what's there. We are not casting, we are strand casting. Oh boy. Oh joy, we are strand casting, my friends, today. With one entire strand casting machine. Now the strand casting, I'm just gonna copy paste the stuffs that I've done before. Where was that for the steel? Over here. I'm just gonna grab this, pretty much. Get rid of that and that. That is that. Ta-da. Ta-da-da-dee-dee-da. Da-doo-da-dum. And this is the used right there. Haha. Ding ding ding. And of course I need to uncoil the coiled stuffs. That will be down here. unsheeting the sheets, technically. We must unleash the sheet coils majestically with glorious productivity level 8s. There we go. Ta-da! It's beautiful. It's beautiful and glorious and magnificent things. It's also a whole set of ones until we get to here. Now for one final chemical plant. One final chem plant that's going to produce the silver zinc batteries wherever they live. There they go. This is the tier 3. I think. I don't know, just the ordering and the color being purple versus blue, it seems like it's the higher tier thing, even though it really isn't. It really isn't. Grand scheme. The other one, lithium ions, are far and away more effort. Yeah, we are not gonna be doing that type of... Yes, there we go. That's more accurate. So should I just, like, do the silver down this line? Because that seems like a much better idea. Be like, oh hey, you know that thing for the silver? Yeah, there you go. There's the silver. And then plastic and sodium hydroxide, yeah, they just get loaded in as well. You need power. Plastic and sodium hydroxide. I should share the belt between the plastic and the sodium hydroxide. There's no real reason not to. But only down here, though, because I need sodium hydroxide, I think, elsewhere? Yeah, here. On the silver oxide. So they don't immediately get shared. Ta-da! That is going in here. There you go. This is zinc ore, this is silver ore. I think I need to jump here. There's the silver ore. And this is the coke. Oh boy, so much belt. Let's get this belt. Try to Try to get everything done with the amount of belt that I have left. That leaves zinc. Or just trying to save a bit of standard belt segments as we go. Of course, I need loads of fluids. This is the sulfuric acid line. Okay, sulfuric, you are going there. The base mineral oil needs to be loaded in over here. Let's see, base. The basest! The basest of base. It is the final line, somewhere down there. Oh. That was accurate positioning. Let's see if this is valid spacing. Or if I'm gonna run into trouble. Think we're good. And that is stuffs. Hey. There we go. That's making the coils. As it accrues. The doohickeys. You're rather slow. Oh. Oh. That explains a lot. Okay. That's the limiting factor. Oh, hey. Yeah. Oh, hey, we've got batteries. We've got the batteries. At this point. Success. We've got a semblance of success. Greater than 0. We've made progress officially in this stream. My goodness. He's actually done it. Actually made progress. Who is this actually making progress? I don't know who this person is. They're here to just talk, do nothing for ages. Actually gonna limit that to 2. Supply depot, full cargo, circuit, condition, auto magic, and we're going to define these silver zincs. Where were they? Somewhere. Yeah. And that is that. So in order to do utility science, I am going to need lithium. Lithium processing. But do I do it as its own thing? And I need cobalt oxide. Ugh. Ugh. This is one of the reasons why I have cobalt ore provided on the network, as well as every other ore type. Because you need ore. You need lots of ore. What to do next? Because if I'm doing lithium, I may as well do the utility science. I'm going to do the utility science with lithium. The reason being that I need utility science to get the tech to do the pellet press tungsten processing, and I would rather go directly into pellet press tungsten processing. Yeah, I'd rather just go directly into pellet press tungsten for doing tungsten and everything else that uses tungsten, if possible. If possible. And then we can go around and play with scaling. Or just go directly into space science, you know, that stuff. Space. Space. Yes, space. Okay. We're looking for utility science here. We're looking for one of it. Yep, silicon nitride. I've got electric engine units and low density structures. I need the titanium and lubricant provided. I've got logic boards being made, so that just leaves the lithium ion batteries. Lithium ion batteries are used for personal stuff in batteries. The thing about batteries... Do I need any batteries for launch stuff? Because not only do we have to do a lot of things, but we have to do space extension. That's going to need robot... Oh, that's just assembly robots? What? Used in the dry dock assembly component. Place in rocket silo to launch into space. Okay. Launch assembly robots. That is slightly, I think, slightly different. You have to launch a certain number of these, which is going to use modules and apparently level 4 robots and low density structures. Then there's dry docks, which are solar panels and Roboport 4s. And a bunch of assembly robots, of course. And the dry dock structural component, which is a bunch of LDS, tons of LDS. Another major consumer of aluminium. We've got all that FTL shenaniganry, but we also have a lot of the others here. Space casings are titanium and low density structure protection fields. We have two options. Energy Shield 6 or Energy Shield 3 with a whole bunch of processing boards and a whole ton of various types of modules. And I'm pretty sure you only need one of these. Portable fusion reactor, Mark IVs, 100 of them. More modules, more LDS, more titanium electric engine units. That's easy. That's a lot of rocket fuel, otherwise easy. That's pretty easy. That one, again, pretty easy, but that's a lot of productivity modules. This one, modules, lots of them, all level 8s. This one, modules, processing boards, pretty simple. And then at the very end of the FTL, you have to make the actual faster than light drive, which ultimately is pretty easy. It's just eating through all of this tech. Note, 60,000 science, 120,000 science, 120,000 science, 120, 120, 140 there, 240 there, 120, 60, 60, 120, 2 million. 2 million. 2 million. 2 million. 2 million. 2 million. And 2 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 million units of automation science packs. 12 of the transports, 10 of the chemical, etc., 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 etc. Yeah. A few things. It's a few units of science. For the ABX part of it. This is why, at the end of the previous ABX series, I just off-screened a lot of the scaling. I didn't even stream a lot of the, like, very tail-end shenanigans, and just spent hours and hours of trying to keep scaling during the long wait for the faster than light tech to happen. So those energy shield 6s. So I'm not going to be able to get away from these needing modules. From the fact that this building requires modules, right? So even the level 6... The level 6 is just processor boards and modules, right? The level 4 is processing boards and modules, processing boards and modules, processing boards and modules, logic boards, then steel and electronic circuit boards. So circuit, logic, and processing plus steel, which is already there. So I can make these where I'm making modules is the idea. I can set them up where I'm making modules. And that will be that. However, the next item on the agenda is to get into utility science, and that's going to be done very productively, so that we're all aware. And I think because it's going to be so small values here, such small values, that we are going to start with 10. Starting with 10, you need to default to the electric chemical furnace, because that's what I have right now until I get into tungsten stuffs. I can't actually make multi-purpose furnaces until I get tungsten, which is the whole reason why I don't have them yet. You are productive, as are you. As are you. You are also done in that and are productive. You are electrolyzed. It's defaulting to a Bob's electrolyzer, but I'm pretty sure we can still use this. And it's also productive. Well, wouldn't you know? Okay, this build. And then I have to break down the lithium salt from what? Ah. From lithium water from filtering thermal. Okay. Phew. And wouldn't you know it, it's also productive. It's also productive. And then we need this sodium perchlorate. Of course, it's catalytic. From sodium chlorate. From hydroxide solution. That's just going to be sodium hydroxide as well as hydrogen chloride gas. That's being provided on the network, I'm pretty sure. So that is the build. Why do you make excess salt? Oh. I can use salt for something. There was something here. Oh, and I haven't broken down the lithium plates either. Which is just the salt here. Do that. You have a recipe from sodium carbonate, which I don't remember. Oh, right, I can use salt for the sodium hydroxide for the... That's what it is. I could make sodium hydroxide. It's 1.69 from 1.69 salt. I can make it from this recipe from salt, but it's nowhere near enough salt. I was initially actually thinking salt, sodium. Hold up a second here. Sodium hydroxide from sodium. Oh no, that's sodium hydroxide into sodium. No, I need the product. Okay. So the 1.69 salt would give me not enough back. It would give me half back if I did this. And it gives me more than enough stuff here for the hydrogen chloride. locally. I don't see why I wouldn't do that to avoid the inputs of sodium hydroxide as well as, well, I still need to make the saline, but saline is super simple with a salination plant. I forget, do I even have level 2s? I'm carrying around level 2s. Of course I have level 2s. Yeah, that saves inputs completely, and I can just recycle these guys. Why 5.27? What are you trying to give me? Oh, all the water. It's trying to give me water. Hold on a sec. I have water wells. Thanks. Now, why are you not trying to clean... What? I don't have production of purified water. A lot of stuff changed here. Why? Values decreased. Oh, it was giving me... There's an output of purified water here. Hold up. Kill you. What happened? Yeah, see, it's trying to give me all the purified water in this step. But what happened to this? Like, why is it not trying to give me purified water? And why is it not using... Okay, there, see, that's 0.85, 0.85, that's fine, that's working. Hello. Hello, my Ollie. Are you happy now? Did the Ollie eat? Huh? How's my Ollie? Yeah? Squirmy? He ate, now it's time to play, explore. Explore the universe. So, why is it when I added... Tail. Why is it that when I added the recipe for the pure water, down here, that it wasn't gonna do anything? Huh? Why, hello? Hello, my Ollie. Why you no do stuff? Because it makes saline and doesn't want to give saline? Extra saline? That would be the reason, probably. There's something... Excuse me? Ollie. That's my light. Could you not? Could you not? Da ba da. Da ba da. Come on. Da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba. Hey. Da ba da ba. Mau mau. Yes. Mau mau. This kitten. This kitten. You're almost 10 months old. You're almost 10 months old, my Ollie. Yeah. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Startles him. He startles. Could you not? Like, you're ruining that light above me. You're actually ruining my big boom light. What is going on? That's what I want to know. Why? Why you do this? There. It's done it. Does it seriously make exactly as much saline and pure water as is used in the entire thing? No, it's vastly overproducing. See, this makes 410.4. This makes 420.9. What's... Oh no, and it's all getting used here. For what purpose? Do you want to do this to that degree? Because now I don't have the actual water input placed. Hey, Hellmod. Water. Thanks. Let's keep that again. Now what are you trying to do? Trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me? Why are you not processing the used electrodes? Why are you not producing sodium hydroxide? Why are you now focused on it? I hate sometimes that Hellmod makes decisions for me with the Matrix Solver. I hate that it tries to make decisions for me as to what it thinks is the cheapest method of dealing with water. Like, no. Don't. Stop, please. Any hoozle. This is still overproducing on the lithia water because it wants to produce enough purified water for the whole system. But if I tell it to make purified water, well then this has a water output as well. And that causes funky things to happen. Because it's going to try to say, hey, this thing that has water, you totally want to use purified water to make enough water for the purified water that's making the water, that's making the purified water, that's making the water. Over and over and over to infinity. It's like, you totally want to do that, right? That apparently doing this apparently does nothing also when in this mode. So you know what I think the best option is to just say, I'm going to have a supply of purified water. I think that's what I just have to do here, is that I am going to have a supply of purified water. It will exist. The 1594, as it turns out, it's just going to exist. Okay? Because if I set a recipe that gives me purified water, it's also going to give me salt water, and then it's going to want to use that cheap saline. Even if I set another recipe to give me actual saline from water in this recipe. It's like, but, you're making a lot. Actually, it would make more saline than what I need. And then it's like, okay, well, let's now use that saline water that you are overproducing in the parts of this that needs saline, which is here. But I don't need this as the method. I need this as the method. Like, I'm trying to use the salt, the 1.69 salt output. Math. Palmod is just evil incarnate at times. It says it's 5.1 and 5.1. That's just order of operations on this thing. / it's still trying to make water for me. Because I got rid of the thing that's give water. Oh, it added to the top. Just give water. Just give water. And now we should have accurate-ish stuffs going on. Accurate-ish. I just want to make sure down the line that everything that can use productivity is using productivity. That's a lot of stuff, actually. Oh boy. Oh joy, oh bliss. And that's the build. Phew. Let's make some notes. I need electric engine units, low density structures, electronic logic boards. This is, oh, silicon powder. You are from ingots productively. I need silicon ingots. I need titanium plate, lube, coke, plastic, cobalt, titanium, or thermal water. And then I need this cobalt oxide. What are you from? I think I'm doing this. And crushing slag. But hey, it's 0.87 more hydrogen chloride that we're doing here anyway. And we have way more chlorine and hydrogen out of this than what we'll be using. So that's fine. And what are we adding ultimately? Slag as an input. Slag I could get through electrolyzing water locally. I'm not going to add it because it'll screw with the water a little bit, I think. It would add even more hydrogen, and it would add oxygen into the system. I need carbon, not coke. Yes, carbon. Carbon. And I need sulfuric acid. Ah, so that's like 13 things, right? If I bring in slag. Just for my own reference, slag comes from you. Ta-da. Slag. From water. So 12. And I want to make sure that my fluids are listed last, so we have 9 solids and 3 fluids on this build. Electric engine units, low-density structures, electronic logic boards, silicon ingots, titanium plate, carbon, plastic, cobalt ore, and titanium ore. Fluids on the input stations would be lubricant, thermal water, and sulfuric acid. And that should be it. Nitrogen is, of course, local through compressed air production. And we're good, right? Like, that's the build. And that's 10 utility science. Like, this raw resource stuff here, yeah, that's 10. Speaking of which, I should productivity my low-density structures sooner rather than later, because that's going to be one of the bottlenecks on this build, as well as the 5 freaking electronic logic boards. Aren't I making like 1? Hold up. We're not going to start building out this build today. We have planned out this build for our next stream, because I only have about 8 minutes left today. Logic boards. This is all being done over here. You there. And you there. You need to be purple buildings. I am missing solder. Of course I am. You are sitting here, though, full. Oof. Ooh. Yeah. Hold more, please. When you are requested. 61,000. Okay, I have a bit. I need to do the brains for the robots. Ooh, you're bringing in, right. You. Huh? Yeah. So, remember here, this. This. No. No. This. you'll see the plan. The plan will be very apparent very shortly. Yeah, so how far away can we go? That far? That's only 2 layers. Dang it. Alright. Fine. Then you don't need to exist. Hello? Ah, I want something there. This would be a great time to have substations. But nah. So that works. Shenanigans! Say hello to the Beacon Shenanigans. They have arrived. The bacon shall flow freely. We must have crispy, juicy bacon. Get rid... well, clear some storage space for now. Da-da! Productively, please. That's now making, like, 14 based off of just stuff being nearby. I do not need this many beacons around this. Like, there's no point to be trying to make 60 of these. Or even 10 of these, but you know what? I'm gonna keep that one because it... or that one because it was touching this and giving me 1396. I'll get rid of these two. But I need to do the exact same type of thing on each of these up here and all the way up the line. And you know, the carbide, or not the carbide, the nitride, excuse me. And this stuff and this stuff, it all needs productivity. Excuse me, that will go all in there. Yes, I know I need to upgrade belts for maximum production out of all this. That's what I'm doing. I do know about needing the belts to be upgraded. Being red, I know that I can't get all of the output because I don't... that is far more than a lane. That's not gonna happen. Ultimately, I'll need bots to move stuff because it's just not gonna happen with belts. It is not gonna happen with belts. Okay, I think my problem with the solder, actually, now that I'm like thinking about this, is I have one train on solder and it needs to go a lot of places. So where do I have solder again? The solder coils. It is a situation where I both don't have enough trains and am not producing enough solder. Cool. I need to add the coolant processing of solder to this and make it faster. Great. Fantastic. Oh, hey, I've got a few of these being made right now. And as much as I've started work on all of this, it really does not actually matter for the moment. It'll matter a lot more once I have the demand. But because I do not yet have the demand, it doesn't matter in the slightest. I'll come back and we will adjust both here and at the electronic circuit boards and the other electronics after I have a demand. Like once I have the real demand for everything, that's when I'll start doing stuffs. Speaking of which, I have 60 more productivity level 8s over here. So that's great for being limited by the solder. That will be the next thing I need to take care of is the solder bottleneck. A lot of my bottleneck reduction is going to be done off stream if I feel like it and have time. There's yeah, that's how I'll put it. If I feel like it and I have time to do it, I will do it off stream. Hello, you have arrived for me to say goodbye, basically. I have reached the end of today's stream. What have we gotten done today? We got something done. I've forgotten already. We did silver zinc batteries today. We did silver zinc battery production. Why are you not doing a thing? Why are you... Oh. Which is stopped because I forgot to add... Of course, I always forget this. I forgot to do the freaking placement of the ceramic filters in the machines. I always forget to place the ceramic filters in the machines, but hey, no matter. They'll move when I place the filters in the machines again. It is doing it very efficiently. Too efficiently, really. But yeah, we've got the silver stuff that we need being made out of the ore, and the zinc being processed through pellet press level processing with sheet coil, quote-unquote, sheets of zinc that are unsheeting productively into zinc into a very productive building with our beacon shenanigans. That's what we ended up getting done, and we also ended up doing a lot of planning for the future in the form of utility science and looking at space science. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. As well as, you know, just the idea of this is a lot of stuff in the form of sodium hydroxide in particular, as well as a lot of fluids for the rocket fuel production. A lot of fluids and a lot of throughput required of fluids, which can be very, very tedious at huge scale. But with that, that's for a later time to deal with. We will do utility science as our main build next time. That will be the plan. This is our plan to execute upon in our next stream. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Shibut. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video, including like likes. Likes are great. Likes are great. People are able to view video higher up in search results when there are more likes on it. That is just part of how things work, as well as comments. The more comments there are, the better, and all that good stuff. Consider hitting the great big blue join button while you're down there to become an erudite otaku and turn that blue button gray, as well as providing support on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushibut if you're so inclined and able. And I will be back tomorrow with Satisfactory, continuing on the Adaptive Control Unit Shenanigans build, as well as more Factorio on the next day, Tuesday, where we will be doing utility science, ideally. I hope to see you all on the next one.